Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm really excited to do because it's going to be a new top 5, bottom 5 video. I haven't done one of these in a while, and it's going to be focused on high-end and luxury makeup. I saw my friend Mel Thompson do this one about a month or so back. I'll have her video listed down below, and she did 5 high-end luxury products that she thinks is worth the price tag and 5 that she does not think is worth the price. So I'm going to be going through 10 different products here of 5 high-end luxury products that I really enjoy, that I do think are worth it, and then also 5 items that maybe not even that it's not just worth the price tag, but it just didn't work out for me in general, and wasn't a good product for me. So I'm excited. I have a lot to chat about today, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so jumping into it, so I will say that I'm excited to do one like this. I'm not a niche high-end luxury channel like Mel, who I referenced in the intro. She is. I don't really feel like I have a niche, like I'm not a drugstore, you know, I'm not high-end luxury, I'm not all indie, I'm kind of just like a mixture of everything. Like I just can kind of enjoy it all. But I'm excited to do this because this is probably now the time where I can finally do it. I didn't have a whole lot of high-end luxury to talk about for a while, but I've been able to test out more and more products here, and I just thought that maybe this would be helpful to go through some products that I really do like, I really would recommend, and at the same time, what are some items that I would recommend staying away from. So hopefully you do find this helpful. So the first item, I think I'm gonna start with my misses first, so we can end on a positive note, kind of like how I do my makeup monthly. And one thing that I thought was interesting as I've been working on this video and creating my list is that I just wrote everything down at first and then decided to, you know, pick the 5 from there. I had pretty much double in the bottom 5 category, and that actually doesn't happen a lot. I've had a lot more top 5, bottom 5 videos planned out because I like the format of it, but a lot of times if I'm doing like a one brand, I could only find 1 or 2 misses from that brand. Or if I was doing like a certain category, I could only find 2 or 3 certain items to talk about. I couldn't get the full 5 down. So I thought it was interesting that I actually had a lot more misses in the high-end luxury category. And I think maybe a reason for that is because I can get pretty hard on those really high price tags because I don't have a lot of money to spend on high-end luxury products. And if I can find something that's more affordable from a drugstore, etc., and it does, you know, the same or very, very close or even better than that expensive price tag, like, then that's what I'm all about. So I don't know, I just thought that was kind of interesting. But the first product I want to talk about is from Kevyn Aucoin. Now I love Kevyn Aucoin. I've tried a lot from the brand that I really do enjoy. There's only been a very few misses from me, but one of them I just could not get down with. This is called the Sensual Skin Enhancer Concealer and Foundation. Now this is $48, and what it is, you're supposed to be able to use it as a foundation, a concealer, spot concealing. I know a lot of people really like it for that. And it comes in a little jar, but it is an extremely thick product, which I think is one of the first things that I was like, wait, how am I supposed to use this? When I was trying it out as a foundation, it was really, really easy to use too much product and just kind of create a mess on my face. Like, not even that, just like, oh, I went too much. It was like too much, too hard to blend out. My face just looked odd. I would have to wipe my makeup off and start over. And again, as concealer, even if I tried to use like less and less product, I felt like I was still just getting so much makeup on my face. It felt very heavy on my skin, and I just didn't love it. I didn't love the pot form as well. It was just a little bit harder to work with. But again, I tried it so many different ways. I was trying it with different brushes. I've talked about this product in the past on my channel, and people were giving me their recommendations, and I was like, I just can't get on with this. And there's obviously so many great foundations and concealers out there. $48 is definitely not the most expensive. I've definitely spent more for, you know, foundation and concealer products, but this one was just a miss for me from the brand. The next product I want to talk about is a lip product from Giorgio Armani. These are the Lip Magnet Liquid Lipsticks. These are $38, so $38 is very pricey for a liquid lipstick. I actually got sent these products a while back in an influencer, like Vox box, back when I used to participate pretty heavily in influencer, and I tried because I wanted to love these products. They sent me like a red and a pink one, and I was like, Giorgio Armani, are you kidding me? And then I looked at the price and they were $38, and I remember at that time, I don't think I had a luxury lipstick in my collection at that point, so I think probably the most I had spent was maybe like $18 on a liquid lipstick. So I was like, girl, you're gonna love these, you're gonna love them hard, you're gonna display them, you're gonna be out and people are gonna say, what's on your lips? And I was like, it's just Giorgio Armani. It's fine. And I just did not like them, and I felt so sad about it. And they also have really good reviews. I remember at the time that I was reviewing it, I was looking at the other reviews too, because you had to write your review for Influencer, and it was like everybody was saying, I love this, this is great, this is long lasting, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So then it's just one of those two where I kept trying it even more, because I was like, obviously if everyone loves it, I'm like the oddball out here, I have to love it. But I just really didn't. And it was funny because so many people were saying that they were long wearing, and I did not find them to be long wearing. And maybe it's the particular colors that I got. You know, sometimes if I'm wearing a nude, it's easier to have these be longer wearing because it's easier if they're more like the color of your actual lips. So that's, you know, that doesn't necessarily have to be a nude. But sometimes if you get a color closer to your actual lip color, it's not as obvious when the lipstick starts fading. And because I had a bright pink and because I had a deep red, it was very obvious when it started fading off on me. And so the long wear part was definitely probably the biggest con of this liquid lipstick. It wasn't the most drying liquid lipstick I've ever worn, but it was definitely drying. It wasn't the most comfortable formula that I've ever worn on my lips. The positive about this product was that I really liked the applicator. It reminded me of like a MAC liquid lipstick or the Smashbox Always On, where it had that very pointed tip so I could kind of easily line it. And it was kind of strange too because it never dried fully matte on me, and it could get really messy. It dried matte after, I'm not kidding, like maybe an hour it would finally dry matte. But when I would first put it on, I was actually getting the lipstick, like I was like moving around and doing other things. I was getting lipstick on my hands, I was getting lipstick like on my chin and stuff, because it wasn't drying down completely matte for a very, very long time, like if at all. So I don't know, I just don't love this one. Has anyone tried these from Giorgio Armani? Let me know if I'm still the only one that did get on with this lipstick. So next up is actually a newer product that I tried out. I just featured this one in my makeup monthly, but as I was looking at my list, like I said, I had quite a lot in this category, but this one for some reason just like really made me angry. So in case you missed my makeup monthly, I'm gonna tell you about it. This is from Natasha Denona. It's one of the Chroma crystal top coats. I have mine in the shade bronze, and I think I also wanted to mention this one because I got some you know, comments and stuff in the makeup monthly, and so I kind of wanted to touch on that. But this is what it looks like. These are $28 a piece, so you know, that's pretty pricey for a like lid topper. This one was a really beautiful bronze sparkly color. I was able to use it 2 whole times, and I thought it looked absolutely beautiful. The third time I went to use it, it has completely dried out, which I just think is crazy because, you know, I'm closing it all the way. There's no reason that this should be dried out after only 2 uses. So that part was definitely pretty frustrating to me, but I thought it was interesting when I mentioned it in my makeup monthly in the fail category. A lot of people are saying like, oh, maybe put in Duraline, you know, maybe mix it with something to give it back its creaminess. I totally get it. I could do that, but I don't own anything like that either, so I'm not going to go out and purchase a Duraline to try to make a $28 Natasha Denona product work. Like maybe if I had it, I would use it, but I also don't think I should have to do that. This is a $28 eyeshadow topper that I used 2 times, and now I can't use it anymore. I don't feel like I should have to bring in sort of mixing medium to get something to do its job more than twice. You know, I would understand if this was an older product. I have it open and shut and, you know, a lot of times and whatnot, and maybe it dried out that way. It had only been opened 2 times. That's it. So I just thought that was kind of crazy. So that was a bummer. I ended up purchasing one of the Marc Jacobs sequins like glitter eyeshadows, which is similar to this in the VIB sale. I've now used it once. I'm gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna see if that dries out. You know, maybe it's just a problem with products like these. I don't know, but I'll see how that goes because that was also $28. But yeah, I mean, this is not usable for me. The last time I was trying to use it, I was doing everything I could, spraying my brush, using my fingers, trying a sponge tip applicator. There's nothing to it. It's completely dried out. So next up is actually a product that Mel featured in her video as well, and I was like nodding my head as she was talking about this product because I do feel the same way. And again, I feel like this is maybe a little bit of a controversial one because I remember I talking about it in the past on my channel and people have been like, no, but they're so good, but you have to try it this way, but you have to da-da-da. And I'm like, no, it just doesn't work for me, and that's okay. You know, different people have different preferences. I try to preach this every single week in my Will I Buy It because I think it's something about human nature. When we love something, we want other people to love it too. If we hate something, we want other people to hate it too. It just is almost like, I feel like it's more of like a validation thing. Like I love this, so other people have to love it, so I'm like, yeah, obviously, like we all love it together, and vice versa. I don't know, I think that's just a human thing, to be honest. It extends beyond makeup. But Anyways, these are from Viseart. This is a Theory palette. This is one of them that I own. I have another one as well. This one is the Theory palette in Nuance. Now these are $45 eyeshadow palettes, so that is very, very pricey. You get 6 different shades inside. There is a little mirror in here, and they're nice, you know, travel friendly, very compact eyeshadow palettes, but I don't feel like they're worth the price tag, which is what Mel's video was really focused on. I don't think that this is worth $45, but I also just don't think it's a very great eyeshadow palette in general. I got this one in my Beautylish Lucky Bag that I ordered last year, and I've just been so underwhelmed with it. When I was unboxing that Lucky Bag and I mentioned this, a lot of people were very excited about it, and then I did a follow-up and I was like, I'm just not really feeling this one, and people were like, no, you're crazy, like these are fantastic, you just have to try more, or try it this way, or it's good for this. And I was like, I'm still just not really feeling the vibes on this one. And like I said, I have another Theory, I want to say it is the, oh, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but I have another one of these, and it's just, I feel like these shades are a very like light wash of color. You don't really get a lot of boom with them. This one is an all like shimmer satin type of palette, so I definitely like to spray my brush with it, which some people will not want to have to use a damp brush with, you know, more of a luxury palette, which I totally understand, but I'm just underwhelmed by this one when I do my makeup looks with this palette, which I've done several with this palette. A lot of times I would either just not really like my makeup look, or what I was finding a lot of times was that I was having to come into other palettes. I was topping it with a glitter. You know, I never really wanted to complete a full makeup look with this palette. I just always felt like something was missing, something was lacking, and I was just, again, very underwhelmed by these. So for a $45 palette, you know, that's pretty expensive, and just can't say that I love it. The last product that I want to mention for the bottom 5 category is actually a foundation, and I decided to include this one because I can also kind of give a recommendation at the same time. You know me, I'm not like a super negative person. I like to be positive at the same time. But this is from Lancome. This is their Teint Idole Stick Foundation. It's $42. Now, the regular Lancome Teint Idole Foundation is one of my favorites. I have it in 2 different shades, kind of like my paler shade for the winter, my darker shade for the summer, because that is just how much I enjoy the foundation. It's one of my most worn foundations. But the stick foundation, I tried it out, and I'm pretty sure I like immediately decluttered it out of my collection. Like I gave it like the 3 to 5 times of trying it out and was like, this is doing nothing for me. And I don't really hear a lot of people talking about this stick foundation. There's definitely other stick foundations that I feel like a lot of other people like a lot more. I actually did have the Hourglass Vanish stick foundation on my bottom 5 as well, and I know a lot of people absolutely love that foundation, but it just did not work out for me. But I wanted to mention the Lancome Teint Idole Stick Foundation, again, because I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. I thought I could reference that I really do like the favorite one. But this one for me was one of those very odd foundations that when I put it on, I wish I had a really good way of saying how I would describe myself, because it's not like, I want to say that it looked like I wasn't wearing any foundation, but that's technically like a good thing. But it was like, it would just disappear into my skin. And at first when I was using it, I was like, oh, it's because I'm using a beauty blender, you know, I need to use a brush with it. But I've, you know, tried applying it several different ways and with several different primers, and I just can never really see a benefit with my skin. It truly looks like I've just blended it right off my face, and I no longer have any product on, no matter how much I add it, no matter, again, what tool I was using to apply it with. I just did not get a good sort of any sort of finish or coverage with this foundation. So I don't recommend the stick foundation from Lancome. I'd say if you're interested in trying one, to try the regular foundation. I also have some foundations that I'm gonna, or at least one foundation that I'm gonna mention in the next category if you're looking for a good luxury one to try out. But that's everything for the bottom 5. Let's go ahead and switch it up and talk about some items that I really enjoy. So moving over to my top 5, I thought I would start off with the foundation. This is from Dior. This is the Dior Skin Forever Perfect Foundation, and it is $52. I thought it said $62 for a second. It is $52, and I enjoy this foundation so much. The shade I have is 030. It's a little dark for me. Like, I would have to be self-tanned right now in order to wear this foundation, but it is such a good foundation. I purchased this in one of the VIB sales because so many people were recommending it. I was seeing so many people use it in their tutorials, but I was like, $52, like I have to have some sort of discount with this. It does have a pump on it. It is a really nice, it's definitely more full coverage, which I normally don't love full coverage. I tend to go for medium, but if I can find a good full coverage that isn't too cakey, that doesn't make my skin feel too suffocated, and I still look like I'm not wearing too much cakey makeup, then I'm okay with it, and that is definitely this foundation. It also gives a very natural finish to the skin, and something about this foundation just makes my skin look so nice. I never had any sort of bad reactions with this foundation, and I was so happy that so many people were recommending it because I enjoy this foundation so much. I've recommended it a lot on my channel as well, and sometimes I do feel bad recommending a $52 foundation because it's very expensive. I really enjoy L'Oreal foundations, a Rimmel foundation I've been wearing a lot. CoverGirl has great foundations out there, and those are a lot more affordable, but if you're looking for a good luxury foundation, you've been wanting to test one out, a really good one, in addition to that Lancome one that I mentioned, is this one here from Dior. So next up, I want to talk about some lip products that I just think are so good. These are from Marc Jacobs. These are the La Marque Lip Cremes. Now, these are $30 for a full size. I have 2 minis here because these came in like Sephora like favorites sets. These are such good lipsticks. I heard about them first, I want to say through Jessica Braun was talking about them on her channel, and I was like, and then I purchased one of these Sephora lip sets, and I think the first one that came in here was Slow Burn, and I was like, wait a second, why is this lipstick so amazing? It is. And then I purchased another one, and I was excited because there was another lip cream in there, but it was actually a different shade. You know, the Sephora collections, they like to put the same shades in there over and over. And then this one is in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I'll go ahead and swatch both of these so you can see them. But I was so excited about it. I actually went on to purchase a full size of the Marc Jacobs liquid lip creme, and the shade of that is in Truth or Bear, and I actually purchased it because I liked these so much. I was willing to take a chance on another Marc Jacobs lip product. I like that one. I don't regret purchasing it. I thought it was very nice, but these are actually my favorites, and I really like liquid lipsticks, so that's what kind of another reason why I purchased it, and it was during a VIB sale, so I got percentage off. But I just figured because I like these so much, like clearly I'd like that one, and again, I would still recommend that, but these are my absolute favorites. So this first one here is in Slow Burn, and then the second one is in the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, so both shades that I quite enjoy. But these are so nice. They're very creamy, but they last for a very long time. These are probably one of my most like longer lasting regular lipsticks, bullet lipsticks in my collection, and I just highly recommend them. $30 is a lot of money, especially for a regular lipstick, but these I honestly do believe are worth it. I would definitely get more in my collection, but I would also definitely recommend these. And again, these two are some of my favorite shades. Slow Burn is definitely my favorite one though, the more nude, obviously. So next up, I have a highlighter from Natasha Denona. If you've been following my channel recently, I tried to do a mix of what I eventually featured of like newer products that, you know, are kind of being buzzed about right now, but also older products in case maybe there's still some interest there, etc. So I tried, but this one I just really can't get enough of this highlighter, and it is also what I wore today, so I figured I would have to include it. It's from Natasha Denona. It's the Super Glow highlighter. Now this is a $38 highlighter, so this is a very expensive highlighter. The packaging I feel like is nice and like over the top for that $38 price tag. You have a really nice compact, you have a nice mirror on it, but this highlight is just absolutely stunning. I have mine in the shade Fair, and I just think it's beautiful. Again, I have it on my cheeks today. It's one of my most worn highlights at this moment. I've been raving about it on my channel recently. It gives you that very wet looking highlight, but it's not glittery. It doesn't show a lot of texture, and it truly is just one of my favorites right now. There's a lot of really good highlights from the drugstore as well. I really like ColourPop highlights, and those are like $8 or $6 or something like that. They're very affordable, but this is also a really nice highlighter. So if you are not afraid to spend $38 for a highlight, which, you know, that's like Becca prices as well for highlighters, but this one beats out my Becca highlighters. All the Becca highlighters that I've tried, Champagne Pop, Opal, I've tried other ones from Becca because I have some in palettes. This one actually beats out my Becca highlighters. I would recommend the Natasha Denona over it actually. And that is saying quite a lot, but I really like this one in Fair. The next one that I want to talk about is a powder. Again, this one is a bit of a newer product, but I can't get enough of it. This is from Hourglass. I realized as I was making this list too that I've actually tried more from Hourglass than I thought that I have. I don't know why. Hourglass is one of those brands that like in my mind I'm like, oh, I really haven't tried much from Hourglass. And then as I was going through the page on Sephora, I was like, nope, Nope, I actually really have. I had quite a few items in there that I could recommend from Hourglass. I really like the Caution mascara as well, but this one has really been taking the cake right now, and I have another mascara to recommend instead. So I decided to feature the Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I have a mini here, which is $18. The full size runs for $40. I had it pulled up here, $46. So that's really pricey for a full size powder. If you want to test it out, or if you don't use loose powder a ton, I would say get the mini for the $18, because to me that's definitely worth it. This is such a nice powder though. A lot of people are raving about it right now. It is a powder that when I wear it, it almost has the effect of like a setting powder does, where it all of a sudden looks more, your skin looks more natural, your makeup doesn't look as heavy, it maybe doesn't look as cakey. If you've used a lot of powders, it all of a sudden just looks like everything's melted into your skin. That's what a freaking powder is doing. I don't know how it's doing it, but I enjoy this powder so much. I use it applying with a beauty sponge. I've used it applying with brushes. I use it under my eyes. I use it all over my face. It's just my go-to powder at this moment, and I've just been enjoying it so much, so I would highly recommend that. And then my fifth product, I think this is the last one that I have to recommend, is a mascara. And you know, like I said, I thought of the Hourglass foundation. You know, this is from Lancome. I mentioned the Fail. I also tried to give a spin-off of a good foundation, and I was like, really, should I put a mascara in here? But honestly, this mascara is so good. I've been using it for years. I've repurchased it several times, and I just think it's a fabulous mascara. So if you're a high-end mascara kind of girl, I would say check out the Lancome Hypnose Drama Mascara. I think this is probably either my second, or I want to say this is more of like my third mascara. This is what the wand looks like. It is a fabulous mascara. It's very black. It makes your lashes very long. It also gives them a curl and a little bit of volume in there. I have no issues with this flaking on me at any time. I've worn it all throughout the summer. I've never had any issues of it transferring onto my face. It's a very long wearing mascara, yet it's still really easy to remove at the end of the night. You know, sometimes with mascaras that don't budge, you can kind of feel like you can't get all the mascara off your lashes at night, and it's a really icky feeling. This mascara is easy to apply, it's easy to remove, it stays on all day, and it just makes my lashes look so good. I've really raved about this mascara in the past, and I love false lashes. I wear false lashes so much, but this is truly like one of my #1 mascaras in my collection. It really is. And just because I've repurchased it myself too in the past really shows how much I enjoy it, because this mascara is, sorry, my laptop is far away from me, $27.50. Kind of a random number, but I'm into it. So a $27.50 mascara. You know, it's definitely, you know, it's up there, but I just think it's fabulous. So I thought I would mention it in here. But after that, that's going to wrap it up for my top 5, bottom 5 of high-end, mostly luxury makeup products. I hope that you enjoyed this video or you found it helpful. I would love to hear some of your top and bottom products that you have in your collection or that you've been able to try out. If you want to see more videos in the high-end luxury category, let me know what you would like to see. If you want to see a top 5, bottom 5 video of something else, you know, let me know any ideas you have. Like I said, I can sometimes struggle with the bottom 5 part, but for this video, I actually did not. So if there's any other ones you want to see, I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.